Today, I want to talk about 5 of the most important things that help me stop binge eating completely and lose weight for good. I don't know if you know me. I'm Ashley. I'm a former binge eater and overweight girl. My weight loss journey was when I was younger. I remember being about 13 years old, that awkward age where you become so self-conscious. And I was not a confident person anyway. I was quieter and shy. I was kind of a passive person, a follower. And we were living in the suburbs of Chicago. And my best friend and I would walk home from junior high school and stop at the grocery store. And we would buy Hostess cupcakes and chocolate chip cookies and sour cream and onion potato chips. And we would sit in a park and just eat and eat until we were stuffed. And we would do this frequently. And what seemed like a fun after-school activity became a terrible habit as I got older. And I started gaining weight. So of course, then I started dieting and restricting because I wanted to be pretty and have a boyfriend. So I'd lose weight for a little while and then I'd be so happy, but then I'd gain it back and I'd start binge eating and gain more weight. And I remember once in college, I had a crush on a guy for a long time, like 3 years. And a friend told me that I should probably just plan on being single the rest of my life and just being content with being single. And it kind of crushed me. I didn't want to be single. I wanted to fall in love. I wanted romance and marriage and all those things. And in case you're wondering, I never dated that guy, and I think I dodged a bullet there. But then in my early 20s, I was a Christian, but I had been struggling with binge eating and being overweight for about 8 years. And I hated how I looked and how I felt. My clothes were too tight, and whenever I saw myself in pictures, I was embarrassed. To be honest, I have very few pictures of myself from that season of my life because I didn't want to face how heavy I had gotten. And I felt uncomfortable in my own skin. And I had shame around feeling like I had no control over my eating. And when I look back, it was like I was trying to fill a hole inside. I was an emotional eater and I used food as a coping mechanism whether I was feeling insecure, or stressed out or lonely or mad. Food was that instant gratification that I thought would comfort me. But of course, it didn't really comfort me. I always felt awful about myself after I binged because I'd eat till I felt sick and then the shame and disgust would set in. So I was trying every fad diet there was, counting calories, restricting food, no sugar, no fat, low carb, Weight Watchers, not eating at all to punish myself. But nothing worked. Nothing worked long term. I always gained the weight back because diets don't work. You can't restrict yourself forever and you always go back to your old habits, right? But after years of yo-yo dieting and shame and frustration, I finally surrendered it all to God. I was just really honest with God. I told him I couldn't stop overeating and I couldn't lose weight and I needed his help. And God met me there. And that was the first and most important step. That's where the healing began. I don't know why it took me so many years to figure out that I needed to stop trying to do it on my own strength. I think the shame kept me stuck and I felt like I should be able to do better because I was a Christian. You know, in Hebrews 4, it says that we have a high priest, Jesus Christ, who in every way has been tempted as we are, yet was without sin. And so we can confidently go to him, draw near to the throne of grace, and we'll receive mercy and grace to help us in our time of need. He blesses us with his help when we ask for it. I also asked God to teach me how to eat like a normal person. I really could not remember what it felt like to be hungry and just to eat like a thin person, which leads me to the second thing I did, which was I started eating when I was hungry, only when I was hungry. I had to learn that hunger felt like an empty or hollow feeling in my stomach. And now I always wait until I'm hungry in the morning before I eat, and that's usually like 10 o'clock in the morning, not 7:30. I don't eat according to the clock, I eat when I'm hungry. And I eat at the first signal of hunger. And the third thing I did that was key is I learned to stop eating when I was just comfortably full or satisfied or satiated, not stuffed and sick. And when I consistently stopped eating when I was comfortably full, I lost weight over time. I left food on my plate and I pushed it away when I was done. I had food boxed up when we went out to a restaurant because I couldn't eat it all and I got to enjoy it later. So, okay, the fourth thing that I did was I ate everything in moderation. No counting calories, no fad diets, no restricting at all. I enjoy chocolate cake with frosting, chicken fettuccine, potato chips, cheese fries. I would eat anything I wanted, and I stopped eating completely when I was full. I had to let go of the whole diet mentality because I knew that dieting just made me feel deprived, which would lead to binge eating. And I hated that ugly cycle, and I wasn't going to go back there. So stop eating when you're satisfied, but enjoy the rich foods that you really want to eat. Now, I'm not saying I have cookies and cake in my house all the time. Baked goods are still my weakness, but I don't keep them around the house because I would eat them too much. It's hard to make healthy food choices when you have junk food available all the time. So I keep dark chocolate chips in my cupboard and eat a handful about every day because I do have a sweet tooth. And if there's dessert around, I always enjoy it. So eat everything in moderation. The fifth thing I did is I started eating lots of fruits and vegetables throughout the day. I want to be healthy and have a lot of energy and feel good. And I know that when I eat fruits and vegetables, I'm feeding my body good, healthy food full of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and juice and fiber. And my body's going to function better when I feel better. I don't eat a heavy muffin or a donut or a breakfast sandwich for breakfast. I really stepped away from eating bread years ago. I had read a book in the early 90s called Fit for Life that's out of print now, but it recommended avoiding bread and flour because it's really hard for your body to digest. So I got away from heavy breakfast that people typically eat. And then I don't eat sandwiches for lunch, I eat salads. And for dinner, I don't eat bread unless we go to Texas Roadhouse and they have those really good, freshly baked rolls with honey butter. Then I'm eating bread. And I'll eat bread here and there. Like we go out for cheeseburgers, I'll eat bread or sandwiches or whatever. I will eat bread. I just don't usually eat it in my day-to-day routine. So I eat lots of fruits and vegetables, which means I'm eating fruit in the mornings and a big hearty salad for lunch. And I don't mean some wimpy garden salad that is going to make you hungry again in an hour. I mean salads that are satisfying with lots of protein and good fat, like chicken and avocados and eggs and grapes and all that. I know a lot of people are looking for a quick fix and they just want to lose weight fast. And that's why they go on the fad diets, right? And that's what I did. But the weight loss you get with a quick fix just comes back. So it's really a waste of time and energy and money. And when I surrendered my struggle with food to God and He took the burden from me, the weight came off over about a year. And I give Him all the credit. And overcoming my binge eating and eating like a normal person was huge for me. And I want to give Him the glory. And the weight loss was permanent. And if you struggle with binge eating or emotional eating and you want to lose weight, you've got to think long term. How do you want to look and feel in 6 months or a year? Do you want a fast weight loss that just comes back on another diet? Or are you willing to think long term and let God relieve you of the striving and the tension and the failing and the frustration? Do you want to lose weight for good? That requires lifestyle change, where you eat healthy fruits and vegetables, but you also eat everything in moderation. So those are the 5 most important things I did. Surrender the struggle to God, and He will help you overcome it. Ask for His help. Eat only when you're hungry. Stop eating when you're full. Eat everything in moderation, no more dieting, and eat lots of fruits and veggies, along with meat and everything else. I'm Ashley, and I'm a Christian life coach, and I really feel for people who are struggling with their weight because I have been there. I've learned a lot about mindset and how our negative thoughts drive our negative behaviors like binge eating and other addictions. And I help women. I help them lose weight and love their body and be confident. I help them with other issues too. But if you'd like to work with me, just click the link below and we can set up a time to talk. Take care.